Alrighty then, we're jumping into another game of the University of Puget Sound League Clubs tournament that they have going on. We're getting into it a bit early to talk just a little bit ahead of time about the interesting draft that we see coming out of the two teams. I've noticed that the teams tend to prioritize power picks less so in the drafting. I think part of that's they don't necessarily have the time to practice all of the top tier meta champions, nor the interest a lot of the time, it feels like. And so hiding information and picking safer picks seems to be more common. But what we've ended up here with is a kind of confusing draft from Team BDE, especially. Actually, I think I prefer Team Blanks. So BDE has a ton of late game. Xerath's poke can be really devastating late game. If Blank gets triple ocean drag, then obviously that's subject to change. But with no one that's going to be especially tanky, except for Trundle might likely go tank and can sustain up, but otherwise, Xerath poke should be doing a lot. But you have to get there, and so you don't have especially strong laners in Xerath, Nasus, and Twitch, so that's one concern. And then the next thing is that with the Amumu Morgana combo that we're seeing, you're expecting a lot of AoE front-to-back team fighting, which really isn't what Nasus specializes in. He can do it once he gets strong enough, just because of how tanky he gets from his items and then having enough damage from his Q. But you generally want to see him in the side lane, and that's not what the rest of the team is saying to me. Meanwhile, on Team Blank's team, we see a decent amount of late game strength as well, with the Sivir Yasuo. Similar team fighting capability with the Kennen Sivir is going to be a lot of AoE damage coming out, especially if they can catch Team BDE in, say, a narrow choke point around Baron, perhaps. And I also feel that they potentially have the ability to get more aggressive. Kennen should have a very favorable matchup into Nasus, given that he's ranged. We'll see how the junglers play around that. We do have Arregis back, was not with the team last time, and they did suffer a little bit for it, but still pulled out the victory, as they are 7-0 currently, I believe. Blank, I don't believe, has picked up a victory yet. We'll see if the addition of my boy Luque down in the bot lane will be enough to change that. Before, Team Blank did not have an AD carry, and so they had to forfeit a lot of their games. They did get Luque in, but as a support, that means that someone else had to switch to AD carry. And I was actually looking, there is some interesting data analysis that was done on the league subreddit. We see the Amumu, Trundle managed to figure that's fine. Amumu just wasting a little bit of time. There was some analysis on the league subreddit that was showing about how getting autofilled to AD carry and jungle are the two most difficult roles to play when you're not experienced with them. You're looking for about 40 to 50% of your games being in that role in order to achieve a 50% win rate, versus the easiest role to pick up and do well with support, requiring some around 25% of your games. So switching to AD carry, if you don't have the mechanics built up for that, it is kind of a unique role in that sense, and we'll see how Xylorian manages to fare at it. But obviously with all these games, so much goes on, there's so much craziness, so many misplays that that's part of the fun, is the Clown Fiesta. So let's look at how the game is currently going so far. We see Twitch up in CS. They do I have a little bit of a push going, but bot lane's looking relatively even. Mid lane Yasuo is heavily out farming the Xerath. That is going to be quite concerning for Team BDE. If Yasuo just has a free lane, actually calling out his opponent, asking if he's lagging. I mean, perhaps, maybe he is, maybe that's been clear. Top lane, we see Kennen with the push on Nasus. This is what we expect, him to be bullying him out a little bit. We'll see if Amumu can potentially get a gank going. He has to go in at the proper time. If Nasus gives up this CS, they're not particularly likely to get a kill. If Kennen plays it properly, Kennen not maxing E, which I believe is still the more common prioritization, but is still going to be able to get it out there pretty easy. Doesn't have to burn flash, doesn't lose too much. He's going to be drinking his potions, and actually, going with the Klepto to exploit the Nasus, so he's going to be getting even farther ahead. Nasus did get to last hit that wave a little bit. Kennen couldn't play quite as aggressively as he perhaps might have liked, but still so far going good for the Kennen. We're expecting a lot of poke early, but it's not going to be until those early item points that Kennen's going to really, especially, going to threaten Nasus. So that is also something he has to be actively looking to do. If you let Nasus, especially this Nasus, given that Arregis has consistently been the carry for Team BDE, pulling out victories even against pretty significant gold deficits. So you gotta be looking to shut him down. We'd like to see Trundle potentially looking to go for dives with him. Kennen, once he has hit 6, should have a lot of all-in potential, a lot of damage coming out there. But currently we are not seeing a ton of focus from either jungler to either portion of the map. You see horizontal jungling going on so far, both just sort of farming up their jungle. Trundle farming a little bit faster than the Amumu, interestingly enough. Amumu's should be catching up with Krugs, though. Amumu is a very strong power farmer. Lots of AoE damage, obviously. Really likes taking chicken and wolves. But is a little bit weaker of a jungle earlier. If he ever runs into Trundle shouldn't have too much of an issue. And we see bot lane having their own issue. Twitch dropping pretty low. Sivir getting a lot of damage but dropping low herself. Trundle's going to come in, but not going to be able to do anything to help secure that. This is a pretty big wave that Twitch is going to be able to farm up, though. Not going to be denied that. Trundle looking to maybe clear out some vision, but not going to secure any vision of his own in the red side jungle. Summoner spell-wise, Team Blank actually ending up behind, burning all of their summoners. Morgana managing to save onto her flash there. We'll see if Trundle can maybe burn it, but it seems unlikely with Black Shield. Should be fine to just get out of there. Trundle's spending a lot of time here. Is looking to maybe get the red. Nope, just clearing out vision. Top lane we see Kennen having to flash. Is currently losing this lane. Not really what we expected. I'm not entirely sure how that happened. Nasus did pop his ultimate, and Kennen did save his. So in an extended trade, Nasus does do a fair amount of damage at this point. Does have the Sheen as well to help out with that. And Kennen, as we saw, is maxing the Q. I believe that has the least prioritization currently on Kennen. Generally, it's Emax into Wmax. Wmax actually, if you're going to be bullying your opponent, is also totally an option. But the Q's harder to make work. And we're seeing it hurt a little bit. Nasus up in CS. You never want to see that, especially into a matchup like Kennen, where he should be able to poke him off of the wave. Part of that is we have, once again, not seen any red side jungle pressure up there. Trundle tried to pressure bot lane, but not too much was going on there, so they're just kind of going back to farming. Trundle, low health, backing, not going for the scuttle. Doesn't know where Amumu is, but does have priority in both top and mid currently. That's most likely just a sort of map awareness issue, not paying attention to the fact that that's up. Looking back over CS, we see Twitch slightly ahead still, but not managing to snowball that into anything particularly significant. Does have the Vamp Scepter pickup, so most likely looking to play a little bit more defensive. Here we see Nasus looking for some trades on Kennen. Kennen just sort of backing off out of there. It's going to take the extra Q, and so that's a pretty even trade. Kennen landing the Q there does help swing that back around. Kennen should be looking to get an all-in, potentially, on this. Nasus is looking for that as well. Trundle was sitting in a very weird situation. Was hiding back here for some reason, as it's very uncommon to ward like here. Generally ward around here, just that you can see both paths as the blue side. But as we saw, AP Kennen has a lot of damage, a lot of all-in potential with the ultimate, and Nasus does burn his flash and die for it, giving up first blood. So quite good for red side. We'll see if they're able to continue to build an advantage off of that and prevent Nasus from taking over this game, as we've seen Arregis do so many times. Looking at mid lane, Yasuo also threatening to take over this game with a huge CS advantage over Xerath. Does have one plate himself. We'll see if he is able to pick up a second one here, and yeah, looks like it's a little bit hard to continue to pressure the Xerath. Xerath has decent wave clear. Does have the Lost Chapter to help out with mana as well. We do see them looking for a 4-man gank bot side. I do like this. Blast Cone appears to be up, though. I don't know why they didn't go for... And if we toggle the Fog of War, yeah, it was up. So they're looking to go, and anyways, Amumu's going to flash in and get the ultimate, actually just the Q, and we see this tower dive is not going especially well, as 2 members of Blank have already died. Trundle's most likely going to get picked up. Amumu's going after himself quite low, but is going to be able to pick that off, and we see the Twitch looking to pick up a kill onto the Sivir. That shouldn't be possible, as she has flash and heal. So I really like the idea of that gank, but it was a big execution error. Rather than utilizing the Blast Cone to sneak past enemy wards and get a fast, immediate gank, what instead happened was they both sort of walked onto a ward, hung out for a bit. They gave Team BDE time to respond to that, and so the tower dive was with even numbers, and as such, it went horribly. 3 people died. Looking at the kill distribution, Morgana did pick up 2 of those kills, so that is some good news for Team Blank. Amumu picking up the other one is also not ideal, but anytime you get 3 kills for free, you can't complain too much. Yasuo looking to even out a little bit, going in on the Xerath is going to burn the flash and exhaust, so Xerath is going to be in a little bit of danger laning against Yasuo. Yasuo also about to pick up his static Shiv, get that crit chance going. That should be... I should allow him to continue getting the shove in, continue to threaten Xerath. We'll see if Amumu can help out, but it's not looking... It's unlikely that he'll be able to do too much at this point, given how behind the Xerath appears to be. But we'll see what happens there. Top lane still concerning for Team Blank, as we see Nasus is up in CS versus the Kennen. Kennen is not snowballing the victory. If we look actually at gold, we'd expect Kennen to be up a little bit, just because he has the Klepto, but it's a little concerning. We'll see if Kennen can have more impact in team fights, as is entirely possible with the amount of AoE damage he's going to be bringing. Amumu looking for a gank top lane, unlikely to be able to pull off anything there. Kind of just gonna dash away, but we do look for an engaged bot side. Yasuo roaming down. This should be a free pickup onto Morgana. Doesn't have the flash, had to burn it earlier. And Yasuo actually picking up the shutdown, as we remember that Morgana picked up 2 of those kills. So he's going to pick up an extra 150 gold, which is exactly what you want to see if you're Team Blank. Xerath looking to get a plate in exchange, but is going to have to respect the amount of damage that Yasuo has. Still has not backed in a while, is sitting on 1300 gold, so does not have that first item completed, but is still fairly threatening for Xerath. Trundle fighting with Moom a little bit, is down a level, but given the strength of mid lane can be a little safe. But once Twitch has roamed up, then you have to be concerned. The missing alert did not come out from bot lane. We're not aware that he was there, but is not quite going to be able to pick up the kill by himself. Xerath is going to look to finish it off with the ultimate, and we see a Mumu and the Twitch flashing in to help secure that. Yasuo's still potentially looking for a fight, but they're outnumbered here. Braum has roomed up to try and help him. He should be able to get out of there if he dashes through the monsters, and is going to be able to do so. They're now looking to push mid lane as for. Nasus has roamed over. Kennen isn't here, does have TP, but doesn't have a great ward opportunity to TP to. Nasus is getting some good damage in. They're not getting plates because this is past the 14-minute mark. Yasuo's looking to go in, does hit a 2-man knockup, but does not have a completed item, if we remember at this point, so does not have damage. Kennen now looks to TP in afterwards. They're looking to force it. Sivir does pop ult. They will be able to pick up the kill onto the Amumu. Nasus is looking to go in on them, but can't quite reach them. Does have the flash up. Is potentially looking for it, and it's going to be a snipe from the Sivir onto the Twitch. Twitch was very low on health, did not have an opportunity to heal up. Going to be giving away free kills. Xerath looking to finish off the low health Kennen, who is similarly staying around. Sivir sitting at the back line, able to get some damage on the Morgana, who's back, are going to be able to pick up a kill on Braum most likely. No, flashes out. Trundle comes in with the ultimate. It's going to be a double kill for Trundle, picking up the Nasus as well. A slobber knocker of a fight, a clown fiesta. So many low health bars on Team Blank. So many people dying, coming back, leaving, coming back again. But in the end, definitely a good fight for Team Blank, showing off some of that AoE team fighting capability that we were talking about in their draft. Obviously some misplays on both sides. Twitch sticking around and dying to the boomerang blades for free. Yasuo going in 2v4 without a item completed. Also a mistake, but in the end, Team Blank coming out ahead. Yasuo looking to push bot lane. We see Twitch should be able to hold that off fine. Once again, Yasuo, it's really that 2-item spike. Once you have your Shiv item and your IE, you get your 100% crit chance. Then you start to really be a monster. Actually going to be putting Yasuo Braum bot lane. I do actually like this a lot. A lot of kill potential onto the Twitch. Sivir should be pretty safe to farm mid lane. Not at too much risk of getting poked up by Xerath thanks to her spell shield. Xerath is going to be given that blue buff, which should help him wave clear. Maybe harass her a little bit, get himself some CS to get back in this game. Looking at the CS, we see top lane is even, but Kennen has Klepto and Nasus has Q, so that's not exactly... it's hard to exactly analyze how that pairs up. Sivir taking a lot of damage actually from the Xerath, but is going to be able to get back to the minion wave. Shouldn't have too much of an issue, but actually taking that Q, probably going to have to back. Blue buff definitely helping with Xerath. Does have his Luden's Echo, so is fairly strong. We see Team Blank looking to start up the Dragon. It is a relatively even contest, though with Sivir having to back, they're actually slightly outnumbered and will most likely have to give that up. Twitch looking to aggress a little bit onto the Yasuo. We saw, I believe that was mid lane, the minions just took the tower, which is the actually first tower, so good for you minions. Understanding proper objective-based gameplay. We see Morgana picking up a binding onto the Trundle. Is going to take a lot of damage, but with a Yasuo wind wall and a Braum shield is going to not be under too much risk of dying. Top lane looking a little rough for Kennen, perhaps. Nasus does have the shove, is getting the opportunity to pressure some of the tower, and down bot lane we see the blue side going to be picking up the Cloud Drake. It is their second Cloud Drake, and there is a third one available, which could actually be significant. We see topside looking to answer back Trundle and Kennen going in on the Nasus. This should be a relatively easy kill. Trundle has to be a little bit worried taking a lot of damage, but as long as he backs up, that should be fine. Yasuo looking to go in onto the Xerath is going to wind wall the stun, I believe, and does pick up some good damage, but with the Mumu there, he's going to do the smart thing and just back off, go back to farming. He applied enough pressure, he got the exhaust out. Now if Xerath gets hit by another third Q, then he still is at risk of just dying. Bot lane we see Sivir, slightly up in CS, did have the opportunity to farm mid lane a little bit. Gold-wise, overall, we see a 2.5k lead for red team. Do pick up a Rift Herald, which will also help. Giving that to the Kennen seems like a mistake to me, given that Kennen has not had priority top lane. Kennen building the Protobelt indicates that he's more so looking for the team fight rather than the side lane, which I think is the definitely the correct decision. Nasus is always going to eventually beat Kennen in the side lane, so looking to extend that with Gunblade is probably going to be less effective than the team fight presence that he's going to get with the Protobelt. Now, if he can get a kill onto Nasus here with Trundle coming up, then they can use the Rift Herald, and that can actually be huge. Nasus does not quite have flash up. This should be a pretty reasonable kill from the red side. Doesn't have the Kennen ult quite up. It's a little hard to tell because the white lines actually match the art a lot. But they do pick up the easy kill onto Nasus. Xerath is up here to try and contest that, but they should be looking to dive him and pressure the tower with the Rift Herald. As we know, Xerath has to burn exhaust if Yasuo ever gets on top of him, and if Yasuo and Trundle get on top of him, then that should be an even easier kill. Now, playing weirdly defensive, sitting on a ward, and then just kind of waiting around there, they could be looking to kill him. Trundle, if you pillar him, then he dies. Yasuo does have ult. So, really weird that rather than looking for... Yeah, Trundle, that was a misplay there. Backing off. That's probably a like sort of practice issue. They probably haven't played Trundle Yasuo that much. But Trundle should have been looking to get a pillar there. He pillars Xerath, Yasuo ults. If Xerath flashes, Yasuo can match it, and that should be a very easy kill pickup. Doesn't do so, and instead Yasuo and Xerath trade flashes, but they do not get a kill. Do get the tower though, so overall still a pretty reasonable play. We see red team looking to reset on the top side of the map. Bot side is going to pick up the tower, which is nice. Blue side is going to get some vision around Baron. They do not have to clear out vision as there isn't any vision there. Nasus is looking to pick up a solo kill onto the Kennen, but it's going to be relatively difficult to do so unless he plays overly aggressively. Mumu, yeah, just pop the ultimate. Kennen, there's no reason for him to be there. There's no reason for him to walk down here, and then once Mumu stays there, then there's no reason for him to try and mess with that. And because of that mistake, they're going to pick up a free tower topside. Sivir could look to answer mid lane. Yasuo's coming up looking to fight. This is not the fight that you want to see, though. You don't have your Infinity Edge quite yet. You want to just be farming up and getting to that point so that you can pop off, because Nasus currently is pretty scary, but Sivir and Braum coming in change that equation a little bit, but not going to pop the Blast Cone in time, and so Nasus can use it to get out of there. A good disengage from the blue team. They also have the Cloud Drake, the double Cloud Drake in fact, so able to rotate around the map pretty quickly. Triple Cloud Drake could actually be fairly impactful, especially for allowing Twitch to shadow Nasus in the side lane. That could be a particularly strong use of that. We'll see if that does end up being a factor, or indeed if red team can pick up the Cloud Drake themselves. obviously the drakes scale in such a way that the first drake is the most significant, and so that would help even things out. Yeah, so looking to get a little bit of damage onto Xerath, but with a black shield, not going to be able to force that. Xerath has his exhaust back up, but does not have the flash. Red team looking to position around Baron. Blue team is not... red team is looking to position around the dragon. Blue team is not around Baron, so there's no real threat. That's an easy pickup. Helps even that out. Amumu, they just took the dragon, buddy. Like, they have to be there. It's one of the few times where the game tells you where your opponents are, independent of anything else you do. And he's just going to give up a free kill. Now, I'd like to see the red side look to pressure Baron off of that, given that they just killed the jungler. Instead, looking to go pick up a kill onto the Nasus. Kennen actually almost able to do it by himself. Actually, probably would have been able to, so... Yasuo and Trundle waste a lot of time. Blue team looking to answer in the mid lane with a pick onto Braum Sivir, but Braum just going to pop that ultimate, hop away to safety, and they really don't pick up anything there. So, once again, Baron is up. Baron is a very powerful objective. When you get Baron, you usually just win the game a lot of the time. And... We just don't see priority given to it in a lot of these games. Blue team has no vision there. Red team could actually be doing it there just because of how little vision. Like I'm making sure I don't have it's both teams' vision, and there's nothing here. Red team could have gone dragon. They could have ran around through here, up through here, potentially. They're both looking to reset, but. Like, why are you not getting vision? What if Nasus, Twitch, and Amumu were just ran to it when you reset red team? Right? What if rather than just backing, like red team went there? And then especially because red team has such a strong team fighting team, you need to force them to run at you. If you just run after Nasus is stronger in the side lane than any of you currently, and will probably continue. It's possible that Kennen and Yasuo can kill him currently, but yeah, you have to pressure. You have to make him burn that TP. Looking to force a fight with the Sivir is what I'm talking about. Kennen's also going to pop the ult. That's going to be a free pickup onto the Amumu. Yasuo actually finds Morgana in the backline, and that's going to be a free pickup onto Twitch. This is where I think you Baron. You don't have minions, right? You don't have minions, and he has wave clear, and you're low, right? So he can stop you getting this tower. He cannot stop you getting this, and right, you get Baron. You go Baron instead of here. You kill it because you have a ton of damage with Yasuo Sivir. Then you Baron back, right? You run and you kill Nasus, right? Instead, right, you're getting a tower, right? And Nasus is getting a better tower and an inhibitor. Even if he dies for this, it's worth it. So it's like you have this huge fight. All right, Luque, you need to back out, my man. All right, good job, Luque. Nasus is going to trade Flash here for the support. I don't think that's worth it. I guess it helps if Vision was more of a thing. What are you doing, Yasuo? Yasuo, why are you here? Okay, that's just a free kill. So, right, had the choice, right? Baron, win the game, right? Instead, get Baron, then push mid to get the tower anyways. Get the inhibitors. Nasus dies easier. You win the game. Instead, right? Nasus gets a free inhibitor. You all get chunked out mid lane, and Team BDE is looking to pick up the Baron. It's just a shot calling issue. Blink hasn't played a lot of games, remember? Didn't have an AD carry. There's a lot of... while there are a lot of macro issues, which we always expect a lot of macro issues from these games because this is obviously not competitive, there's just I'm gonna guess there's probably not a dedicated shot caller on Team Blank, or if there is, they're probably not super experienced with such, and so we're not seeing these calls to back off tower, look for Baron, that sort of thing. Relying more so on just fighting what's in front of you, hoping that individual members can carry. And They do have a lot of kills. They're still like 2.5k gold ahead. So, that is good. They do have a good late game comp with Sivir and Yasuo. Nasus did manage to get the inhibitor tower there. We'll see if he's able to continue applying pressure in the side lane or if he is forced to fight. If we look at his items, he is building 100% for the split push. Going with the Trinity Force Spear of Shojin and even the CZ Rot means that he's hard to answer in the side lane and he kills towers unbelievably fast, but he cannot team fight. He does not. His only defensive item is the CZ Rot portal. At this point, Kennen and Sivir should just absolutely melt him. In the side lane, he probably just kills Yasuo because he pops ult and then just heals way too much. Yeah, he cannot team fight. Looking to actually go on Yasuo, but Trundle's there as well. You gotta interrupt that. That's actually really good. They're gonna pop the Blast Cone and it's able to proc the Yasuo ult off it. He is taking a lot of damage. Yasuo does not quite go down. Xerath's gonna be looking for it. Kennen's looking to stop that with his ultimate, but the Morgana binding is going to stop him. Sivir's coming in. Twitch is all alone. No one's protecting him. Trundle's going to get on him. Amumu's looking to go into the Sivir, but she's staying alive. Xerath's looking to poke, but that's a beautiful Trundle pillar that's going to interrupt that. They are all a little bit low on the red team. Blue side, though, losing 2 members for free. Not quite able to pick up the Kennen. Sivir's also low. Is sticking around. Xerath could potentially look to pick up a kill on tour. Is going to be a binding onto Trundle, and Sivir's getting super low. Is going to spell shield the Amumu Q, but it doesn't matter. He still jumps to you. Trundle also goes down. You won the fight, but you didn't have the health, so you really had to back. You had to give up the towers. Instead, you hang around, and 2 people die unnecessarily. Yasuo is almost certainly looking to kill Amumu. But does not know that Xerath and Morgana left. Actually seeing them topside, this is actually just a free kill on Amumu. There was no reason for Amumu to be there. Yasuo had to a little bit of respect that Xerath and Morgana could just be hanging around in the corner. But once they start showing topside, Yasuo played that properly, not going in unnecessarily. But even if you assume that he's going to not fight you immediately, what are you going to get this tower, Mumu? By yourself versus a full team respawning? So just no reason to be there. Not really sort of paying attention to what's going on the map, and just another free kill. Thankfully for Team BDE, there's nothing really up on the map. No dragons or Baron. Next dragon is going to be an Ocean Drake. Could actually potentially be significant for Team Blink if they could pick that up. Not only would it even things out, but they would also be able to weather the Xerath poke a little bit. That would help negate that. In the side lane, we see Nasus looking to fight once again. Does almost have flash up, is going to be dealing a ton of damage. You have to use your cooldowns, not respecting the amount of damage that Nasus does. Nasus is a crazy amount of damage with Trinity Force Spear of Shojin. He is also very squishy. Right? If you pop all of your abilities, then you kill him. If you don't, then he Qs you and he Qs you and he Qs you and he heals, right? And then you die. Nasus is going to get a little bit greedy unnecessarily. Is going to throw away his life. Not going to be able to pick up the inhibitor. If he gets it, it's maybe worth it. Top side, they're looking to take the inhibitor tower, but given that Nasus is now dead, this is significantly more dangerous. Sivir has a lot of wave clear, is probably going to be able to keep them off. Yasuo and Twitch are not quite up, are going to look to pick up a kill on the Mumu. Does have the flash, is running in a weird way, doesn't flash away from the enemy as so much as towards his team. We see Yasuo and the Kennen respawning, looking to get a fight going. Morgana's going to pop her ultimate, but is almost certainly going to die. Not going to be able to hit anyone with that. Amumu does pop his ultimate, does land a huge amount of CC. Twitch is actually just melting people, but the Yasuo and Sivir are still alive. Kennen is putting on those happy feet. That was a beautiful Captain Jack QSS from CB Hong. Not going to allow him to kill Xerath, but it's going to force him to burn the Flash. That was quite impressive. I would have actually liked to see a TP flank in that situation, probably. I don't know, this ward actually... I guess they didn't have any wards because, once again, they have no vision, right? Why would you have, Baron's up in, 15 seconds? Why would you have vision on the map? Had there been vision, if Kennen had been able to TP behind them, come in with his ultimate, that would have been, I think, an even cleaner fight. But as it was, still good for red team. Sivir, looking to back, is sitting on almost 3k gold. They're sitting up around the dragon. Yasuo should be able to just pick this up by himself, potentially, except he doesn't actually have any vision, so it's a little dangerous with Nasus being there. Yasuo cannot fight Nasus in the 1v1 currently. Nasus does have TP up, so probably looking to pick up the dragon himself. You're not too concerned about them getting this dragon if you're red team, but they're actually looking to fight. It's going to be a TP coming in from the Kennen. They're hugely outnumbered. Team BDE is. Nasus going to flash over there to try and get out, but Sivir's going to be able to run him down. Nasus probably, I would have looked to turn given how much damage you do, but actually going to keep running. Probably could have threatened Sivir, and Yasuo is going to pick up the Amuma as well. So they're going to pick up what should be a free dragon. Morgana is looking to contest in the 1v3. It's a little dangerous here. It's going to try and steal, but Sivir actually secures that. Hanging around mid lane is a little dangerous as they have 5 people on red team that are up. You lost your 2 strongest members. This should please, sweet baby Jesus, let this be a Baron for red team. If they don't get the Baron here, then they should never get any Baron ever. Amumu is up, so he could look to steal potentially. Is actually reasonably tanky, but Sivir is actually just going to sort of beat on him. Yasuo's going to go in. This is a good turn by them. Morgana's going to bot these Zhonya's to try and stay alive a little bit longer, but it's not going to matter. That's going to be another 2 kills picked up. Nasus is actually up with TP, and that could be enough to dissuade them from doing it. Xerath is getting a fair amount of poke off on them. They're looking to potentially rush it down. Nasus still is pretty weak in the team fight. It's going to be a good win wall to try and help block some of Xerath's poke, but most of it ignores it. Trundle's going in. Twitch is back alive. Is going to absolutely wreck house. Is going to pick up a pentakill. The smuggest Wyatt in the world will be on Discord later, I'm aware. Are going to actually pick up the Baron themselves. Red team not pulling the trigger fast enough, giving plenty of time for Nasus and Twitch to respawn, get over there, and yeah, that's going to be a nice, easy, free Baron. At least someone got it. At least one of the teams finally got Baron. Actually looking to push with the death timers being what they are. This is probably going to be the inhibitor tower, and probably the inhibitor. Kennen doesn't have TP, so that TP flank that I talked about earlier isn't going to be a threat. With the amount of damage that they do with Baron, should be able to get this for free. Braum could potentially look to contest a little bit to slow them down, but doing so would be a little dangerous. You have 1 inhibitor down. You have 2 exposed inhibitors. The enemy team is pretty strong. You're also strong as well. Like, this is still anyone's game at this point. Red team's definitely in a bad position. Nasus is just looking to continue split pushing. It takes 2 people to answer him still, most likely. Did pick up the Sterix gauge, so once again, not a huge amount of defensive stats. Does have a lot of health and a little bit of resistances, but does have to be a little bit respectful. Is going to keep looking to pressure bot lane. The rest of the team is resetting, and so he's going to have to back out of there. Looking at items, let's see where people are at. Nasus, obviously, a lot of power in the split push. Moo picking up a Sheen for some reason. I don't know that that's correct, but I haven't seen much of Moo played because I don't know that he's especially good right now. Did get buffed recently, but the buffs he got were for following people, which hasn't seemed especially relevant, and for amping magic damage, which we haven't seen Morgana and Xerath having huge teamfight effects, like we've seen the surprisingly Nasus and then obviously the Twitch having. Sivir is sitting on 4.5 items, is quite powerful. Should be able to just sort of melt through the enemy team if she can get a good AoE situation going. Nasus continually looking to push top lane. Might look to trade his life if Kennen backs to answer and someone else runs up to flank. Then this could actually be bad. If Nasus trades his life for the inhibitor, which is what he's looking to do, almost certainly. We see red team looking to run away from the blue team. Nasus actually just kills the Kennen outright, takes the inhibitor. Trundle's super low, but probably not going to go down. So they are going to be able to pick up the kill onto the Nasus, but because he traded for Kennen and the inhibitor, that is definitely worth it. Blue team looking to answer the kill on Nasus with kills of their own and an inhibitor potentially. We do see a huge Yasuo ultimate, but he's going to get exhausted, not able to kill the Twitch. Twitch is going to kill the Braum pretty easily. Yasuo respawns, but you're respawning into 4 people, and that's going to be a pretty easy teamfight win there. And almost certainly the game. Kennen's coming back up in 20, but it's just a Trundle. Trundle doesn't really have much going for him. He's got a Titanic Hydra. He's got to get out of there. That's another victory for Team BDE. Definitely not their best. That was a super close game. I think Red Team was heavily favored, actually, for large portions of that game. But obviously a lot of back and forth either way. And when it comes down to it, Team Blank not really knowing how to answer the Nasus in the side lane, overstaying a little bit after some team fights, not able to pick up the objectives that they should be, not able to close out the game, and so instead Team BDE finds themselves, I believe, their 8th victory in a row.